Easy as 1+1. Easy peasy.
Neil Brownell, the crazy inventor, here to prove to you that you are absolutely amazing. And in this video, I show you how ancient religions and modern day science are saying the same thing. And that is, you are amazing. You are literally part of God. So here we go.
Check this out. Did you see that? It didn't slow down until it hit something. In 1972, NASA launched Pioneer 10. Pioneer 10 was the first spacecraft that was designed to go deep into our solar system. As you know, mathematically, our scientists can figure out where our spacecraft should be incredibly exact at any given time. However, by 1980, only 8 years later, Pioneer 10 was not where it was supposed to be. Not only was it well short of where it's supposed to be, but it was also slowing down. Space was called space, or given the name space, because it was thought to be empty. In fact, the definition of space is a continuous area or expansion which is free, available, or unoccupied. Space, literally empty. However, Pioneer 10 was hitting something in outer space. After studying it for a while, the scientists discovered that there's a mysterious energy that permeates all of outer space. And not only is it everywhere in outer space, but it's in the same intensity. I am not a religious man, but I am a spiritual man. I'm also a scientific man. So my question is, can a person's belief system and science coexist? When I was a little boy, I was taught that God, our higher power, has 5 major characteristics. 1, I was taught that our higher power has never been born and will never die. It has always been and always will be. God is eternal. So that means that you can't kill the son of a gun, and he was never born either. Does that make any sense at all? None whatsoever for me, especially when I was a little boy, but now I'm an adult and it still doesn't make any sense. So what the heck is going on here? The second thing that I was taught, characteristic of God, is that God is all-knowing. God knows everything. Everything that has been, everything that will be, or everything that can be. So my question is, how can that be? That's nuts. Third, I was taught that God is all powerful. That means it makes no difference what God wants to do as far as making a planet or destroying a planet or making a galaxy or destroying a galaxy or something as simple as a little flower. God can do it. God is all powerful. And again, so far, none of this makes any sense. But it's here, so I'm going to put it up. Fourth, I was taught that all things are possible within God. So that means that if everything's possible, anything you can think of is possible. So that means that if we want to go, if I can get this right, if we want to go backwards in time, we can. If we want to go forward in time, we can. Well, God can. Because all things are possible in God, then that means, again, no matter what we're thinking or imagining, it is possible. So that means that we can arrive before we left. I'm here, but I haven't left yet. Does that make any sense whatsoever? How's that even possible? What? Again, it's what I was taught, so I'm putting it up here. And fifth, but certainly not last, I was taught that God is everywhere at all times. God is omnipresent. Well, I don't have to explain that one to you. Everywhere doesn't make any more sense than this. But we have to put it up, don't we? Well, as I said, as a little boy, I couldn't accept any of this stuff. So I asked my teachers, how is any of this possible? And not only could they not answer me, but they got angry with me. Not all of them, but many of them. They said, you just believe. You do not question. Well, my aptitudes are one of an inventor. And if I can't verify that something is true, then I can't use that information to invent anything else. So I have to be able to verify things to be able to invent anything. So when they couldn't show me or answer my questions, I was really, really frustrated. So I'm saying, well, religious can't answer my questions. So I'll ask science. So I asked science when I was a little boy. When I was a little boy, it was approximately 1970. It was 2 years before they launched Pioneer 10. And at that point, science had no answers for me. So you can imagine, I was still really frustrated. Well, I kept looking, and then something came along called string theory. String theory, for those of you who don't know what it is, here's a really simple explanation of what string theory is. String theory says that everything is made out of incredibly small vibrating strings of pure energy. It's kind of like this rubber band vibrating. And depending on what frequency they vibrate at, they become something. For instance, They vibrate at a certain frequency, and they become part of this clock. They vibrate at another frequency, and they become part of this paper. Still another, and they become something that is in the room, right where you are, right now. So, what does the discovery of string theory do to help me answer my question of these 5 things? Do you remember the 5 characteristics of God? I'm sure you do. We just went over it. Well, I'm told if we start with number 1, is that science tells us that energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. So that means, yes, this energy was never born and it will never die either. So the energy is eternal. Second, it means, remember, God was all knowing? Well, if everything is made out of tiny strings of pure vibrating energy, it means that the strings know everything. Everything that has happened, everything that will happen, everything that can happen. Number 3, if everything is made out of strings of pure vibrating energy, then it means that the strings are all powerful. They can do anything. They can create a planet. In fact, they do. They can destroy a planet. In fact, they do. They can create or destroy a galaxy. In fact, they do. They can create something as little and wonderful as a little flower. In fact, they do. Well, fourth, if everything is made out of strings of pure vibrating energy, I'm told that on the quantum level, for now, until we figure it out for ourselves, that absolutely anything is possible. So that means that yes, you can go backwards in time. We will be able to go forward in time. We will be able to do whatever we want to do. It also means that we can arrive before we left. So then we'll be able to say, I'm here, but I haven't left yet. And last, number 5, but certainly not least, if the strings, everything is made out of these strings, then that means the invisible air, right where you're sitting right this split second, is made out of these vibrating strings of pure energy. It also means that the mysterious energy that the scientists found in outer space is made out of these vibrating strings of pure energy. So that means the vibrating strings are everywhere at all times. It means that the strings are omnipresent. So there you go. My question earlier in this program was, can a person's belief system and science coexist? The answer is a resounding yes. Our higher power reveals itself as pure energy of vibrating strings, which are eternal. They are all knowing. They are all powerful. Everything is possible within these strings, and the strings are omnipresent. So, on a personal basis, now that we've discovered that, on a personal basis, what does this mean to you and to me? Well, first, if everything is made out of pure energy of vibrating strings that have always been and always will be, then it means that you are made out of these strings. It means that your spirit is made out of these strings. And that means that your spirit has always been and always will be. Also, since we are made out of the vibrating strings that are all knowing, it means that we can be all knowing. The answer is out there. It makes no difference if it's a simple little question or if it's something really difficult. The answers are out there. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to run experiments and do whatever to discover the things we don't already know. And as we go forward, we can gain in knowledge because the answers are out there. The strings know them. We just have to tap into that energy. Third, since the strings are all powerful, again, with us gaining the knowledge that we need, running the experiments, creating the inventions that are necessary in order to achieve whatever it is that we want to achieve, go to another galaxy. Like that. And we will be able to. With these strings being all powerful, with the knowledge and the effort and the inventions, we will be able to do what we want to do. All things being possible, the strings having that characteristic, we're made out of them. So again, once we educate ourselves, run the experiments, build the machines that we need, the inventions, we will be able to travel in time. We will be able to do absolutely anything. Oh, it's going to take effort, but we can do it. And fifth, but certainly not least, since everything is made out of these strings, then that means that no matter where we go with these strings because they are omnipresent. So there you have it. We have shown that science and religion can coexist and that a higher power does exist. Well, my goal in life is to, I'll try to get this so it doesn't glare, but you really see it, is to prove that you are amazing. That's my goal. And I would say that proving to you that you are made out of eternal energy that is all knowing, all powerful. All things are possible, and it's omnipresent. That's a pretty good start. My book, You're Amazing, and I'll prove it, proves to the reader how amazing they are. If you have anybody that needs to know how incredible they are, this is the book for them. And as far as science versus God, we'll explore what else this means to you and to me, because this is just the beginning of what this actually means. It is pretty cool stuff. And in the very near future, we will have more videos showing you what string theory has proven with the space program. See you then. You are amazing.